Hello and welcome. This is the RX 7600 XT, the cheapest 16 gigabytes GPU in the market. Here we're gonna talk about how it got rejected by whole gaming community, then it got abandoned, and the whole RDNA 3 by AMD. This video is gonna have a lot of AI in it, but first, we're gonna talk about the gaming aspect of this GPU because most people are just gamers. So, if we go to see the specs and performance, we can see that it's relative to a 5060, but we're gonna talk about that later. So, this GPU has full RDNA 3, but some people say it doesn't, but it's not, because it doesn't have RDNA 3, because it has 2048 shading units and 288 gigabytes, but it has the infinity cache of RDNA 3, which doubles the bandwidth, and the dual issue shaders that double the teraflops of the GPU. So it's full RDNA 3. We're gonna talk about why it's not, and it's because of the 6 nanometers. That's why it has less transistors. But that's all. For $330, it's the cheapest 16 gigabytes. You can see that the 4060 has a launch price of $300. That really, for 30 more bucks, you get double the memory. So there's no point in saying something like the most selling GPU in the market is the best option. I need to make a checkpoint here and talk about another hidden gem that doesn't appear in the Steam charts and also has the same price tag in 16 gigabytes. Yeah, I'm talking about the ARC 770. This is a beast of a GPU for the budget. The gigabytes and the price tag is the same as the RX 7 D600 XT, but in AI is an absolute unit. It has way more transistors, a little bit less teraflops, but it's raw power. And we're gonna talk about some AI here, but I need to show you something, which is the compatibility of this card in AI that has AI super sampling, also compatibility with PyTorch, so you can use it to programming AI, and also has more AI tops than the 4060, which makes it best for AI. I don't have the money to have those three cards, but I picked up some benchmark. I'll leave the channel in the description. Really, you can see that in some games, the RX 7600 XT wins, in some the 4060 wins, and in some the A770 wins. But here you will know why this video is about the RX 7600 XT and not the ARC A770. That's because Intel at the time didn't have a lot of good drivers for the GPU, so most games don't really run really good. That's why I didn't chose that, because for AI, I think that for AI is the best of these three GPUs, but in gaming, it's kind of lacking the support from Intel, and I don't think that it's gonna be fixed anytime soon, because uh, I think that Intel is just focusing on the new Arc B series. So yeah, well, same thing happened with RDNA 3, so we're gonna talk about that right now. Yeah, because with the RX 7600 XT, you can have the best of both worlds. Let's go. Well, prepare yourself, because I'm gonna talk a lot of shit about AMD and the thing they did with the RDNA 3 architecture and all those GPUs. These shits come with AI accelerators, but they were never used by AMD. And now they finally make a decent upscaler, and it's exclusive for RX and 9000 series RDNA 4. That is some bullshit. That is some bullshit. I'm gonna tell you why. Because the solution is using XeSS 1.3. The video at the beginning of the video at the beginning of the video was showing Cyberpunk running and in Psycho RT settings with Intel XeSS and using that scaler, and that thing works because RDNA 3 has AI accelerators, so you can actually use them to improve the performance. Another problem is that ROCm hasn't get support for Windows in PyTorch, which is some bullshit. And this GPU doesn't have support for ROCm on Linux, but it has AI accelerators. So how do you use PyTorch? Well, the community has made it possible, and you can actually use the matrix accumulative accelerators in RDNA 3 to use PyTorch using CUDA on Windows. So yeah, what the fuck? Well, you can say like, why don't you go and buy the 4060? You know, the sexy 4060. You know, AI, ray tracing, the best of the best. You know, you can get everything like CUDA without any trouble. You don't get any headaches. Everything works. It's perfect. Well, there's a little issue. There's a little issue. There's just a little issue. You know, it's little, tiny. It's really tiny. You know, I'm gonna tell you what happens when you run out of VRAM.
In image quality. But again, having more VRAM, also a real advantage. Let's jump into the side-by-sides, and there's a lot of them. Bear with me. Here we have the 7600 XT able to run a ray tracing always-on game, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, perfectly fine. 57 FPS in this demanding jungle scene. Tons of foliage, hard to run here, but it's doing fine. Whereas the 4060 has its frame time graph going absolutely nuts here. It gets worse the longer you play the game. I think it eventually crashes if I let the benchmark run long enough here. And that's a bit of a problem, right? So here we're seeing the 1% lows is 3 times better on the 7600 XT, and the average is 46% better. So even though this is a ray tracing title, the additional VRAM is helping the 7600 XT give good, mindful of the settings that you use. Now, if we try up to go to 1440p ultra settings, the 7600 XT can run it, but not particularly well. We're averaging 42 FPS. Whereas the 4060 is just absolutely crashed here. it's dead. It cannot handle this because it's just way too far beyond the 8 gigabyte VRAM capacity. So let's skip ahead and try what if we used resolution scaling?
Well, the game just crashes. The same happens with AI when you run out of VRAM. The AI will crash, or simply it will not load. So yeah, for the same price, I think that you have to say to yourself like, is it worth it? I'm gonna use it. So yeah, well, people didn't buy it. People didn't buy RDNA 3 in general, so that's why AMD is being so shit and didn't port FSR 4. But yeah, a lot of people is asking for it. I don't I don't really care because Intel XESS looks really good. But yeah, hope they bring it, like they port it. You know, it could be good.